Chats here in downtown Toronto with writer, director, producer Martin Villeneuve. How does it feel to be nominated for a Canadian Screen Award?
It's amazing. I mean, I get nominated for the first time, and it's my first feature film too, so it's a real honor.
And you just got back from the TED Talks in California. What was it like to be speaking about your film there?
Well, again, it's the first time because I was the first Québécois to get on this prestigious stage, and it was an amazing experience. Get to meet lots of amazing people and, chatting about subjects that matter. And this show is really about ideas, but the speakers are the stars. So you get privileged to, have a week there and hear everybody else's talks and get to make some strong connections and nice encounters.
And you made this film on a $2 million budget. You spoke a lot about it at TED Talks. Tell me a little bit about the challenges you faced doing that and advice you would give to other filmmakers aspiring to do something similar.
Well, first of all, don't try at home what I did because it's not a model that you can reproduce. It took 7 years to do this film, and it was a crazy adventure. And of course, when you don't have money, you must take more time. But at the same time, I almost lost everything doing this film. I had to remortgage my house, and I took many risks that nobody else took before. And no wonder you're not taking these risks because these movies are just impossible to make. Only I didn't know it was impossible, so I guess that's the reason I did it. So I don't mean to discourage anybody. I hope this movie will open some doors for other people to do films like that because I think we need more genre film in Canada and in Quebec in particular. But at the same time, it must be done in the right context. And you need when you have ambitious ideas, you also need the budget that goes along with that. Otherwise, it's really hard to get your movie finished.
It was based on a graphic novel. At what point in the process did you know that you wanted to do a film once you made the graphic novel?
Actually, it's Robert Lepage who happened to have the idea of adapting the graphic novels into a movie. And at that time, as I was 26 years old, and I had studied filmmaking and graphic design, but I had never shot, anything beyond music videos or short films. So I had no idea how big and difficult a feature film would be to make. But Robert was supposed to produce it at first, and I was hired as a scriptwriter, which I'm nominated for. So I'm happy with that, obviously. But I'm happy too that in the end I was also the director and the producer because I made the film that I wanted to make. Obviously there were some compromises to be made, but even big budget film have compromises. So we try to make elegant compromises.
And how did everything go on set? What was the best part about it?
Set was actually pretty hard because we only had 22 days of shooting, whereas American would have taken 80 days to take a film like that. So it was we had to be really prepared, but it was like hell and war because we had to move really fast and do so much work in such limited amount of time. Fortunately, I had an amazing team, very strong people who had, a cast and crew that had done films before. So that's really important. It's actually one advice that I could give to up-and-coming directors to surround yourself with the best possible team.
And what was it like working with Robert Lepage?
Well, actually, people ask me that a lot, and Robert they were all good friends, people who worked on my movie, and they already were participating in the books for the most part. So I knew these people really well, and it was like being with family and making a film together, and people had to be really prepared. And, you don't get to direct Robert Lepage, he has a pretty good idea of what it should be, and it's for me directing is a lot about having conversation with people and explaining what it is you want to see on screen. And if you choose the right people, and I believe I chose the right actors to do the part, you end up having what you want on screen, hopefully.
And what do you have coming up next?
Coming up next, I have a full-time job, so I'm working at Moment Factory in Montreal as a director, but I try to, in my spare time, to write. I have two scripts on the table. One is co-written with two European comic book masters. One of them is François Skuyten, who was the production designer on C.S.A. Avril, and the other one is Benoît Socal, who's a French comic book artist, another childhood heroes of mine. And I worked with these two guys on this script called Aquarica. It's a sci-fi fantasy tale And the other one is a more personal project, but I yet don't know what it's going to be, perhaps a graphic novel.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and on Mars et Avril online?
My Facebook page, which has now 22,000 fans, Ted really helped. But this Facebook page is Mars et Avril, Facebook/Mars et Avril, the movie, and you will find tons and tons of information there. There's the Wikipedia page also, Mars et Avril, where you get all these relevant links, and people can watch the trailer online.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and have a great time at the Canadian Screen Awards.
Thanks a lot, and the DVD is going to be released on March 19th, and there's going to be English subtitle and tons of bonus materials for you if you are interested.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.